This is Jackie M here, and thanks again for joining us for another live stream on South Africa Meets Malaysia with a budget meal angle to it. Okay, and here we go. We've got the man of the hour, Paul Gray.
Oh, I thought it was Noah.
And Noah, because it's school holidays. Say hello and let me know where you're watching from. And just let me try and minimize this. Okay, no, it's all good. Yeah, let us know where you're watching from. If you've got any questions at all, hit us up and we'll aim to answer them. If not during this live stream, then after the fact, if we see your comments in the comment section. And don't forget, and I hate doing this, but don't forget to share, like, comment to help us to get found on social media. Yeah, and yeah, again, here we go. Here's the man himself, and what we're going to be making today is burgers. Okay, and let me step away and I'll show you what I've prepared so far.
Yeah, so this is something I used to make. I don't think I ever made burgers when I was streaming from South Africa, did I? No. This is actually something that I used to make like quite often in South Africa and was basically seen as my specialty, and a lot of people and a lot of people know me for it. Like all my neighbors know me for them, as well as like chicken sliders, chicken sandwiches. But yeah, I actually don't think I have made burgers since I got here. I don't know if I have. I literally, I might have once.
No, you have. You made
Okay.
I think the southern fried chicken burger, which was
Oh,
really,
yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, but that's not. Yeah, it's not really the same though. So, but I haven't made this, and this is like my go-to. So yeah, it's been like a good 3 years and 3.5 years. So yeah, basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a burger. It's pretty simple. Jackie made the recipe for made the buns.
The buns, okay, I'm using a Thermomix, so kind of cheating here a little bit. But yeah, let me bring over the tray.
Oh yeah, you can show them the buns. And yeah, once you show them the buns, then I'll just show them ingredients that go into my personal burgers.
And of course, here's Noah. Sound good?
You gonna eat some of the buns?
Hey?
Yes, you are.
He's all suspicious. School holidays right now. These are the buns that I made probably about an hour. Well, I've prepped about an hour or so ago. And these are based on the Thermomix cookie dough recipe. I think it was called Chinese soft buns or something like that. So that's the Chinese angle. And I'm going to actually now stick it in the oven at 180 degrees for 20 minutes. Okay, so apparently you stick it in the oven, then you turn on the temperature. Okay, so you don't actually have to preheat the oven. And the way these buns were made, they're very, very soft. Okay, so they do the same what I used to do on the very, very rare occasion I made bread, which is to make you heat up a little bit of flour with water, kind of like the tangzhong vibe, right? And then you add in all the other stuff, the yeast, the more flour, bit of milk powder, a little bit of sugar, and some salt, and you knead it in the Thermomix. It's very, very soft. Okay, it's a little bit finicky to handle, but you basically slam it around. Take it out of the bowl and slam it around, and then you wrap it and let it double in size. We did that, went to the park, came back, and had like really grown really big. And then you break it down again, split it into bread rolls like this, 12 bread rolls, and then it's going in the oven, turning on 180 degrees Celsius, and then we're gonna bake it for 20 minutes. This is my first time making this, so we'll be able to report back on how it goes. And as far as the cheap cuts, we're actually using I don't know if you tuned in last week, but we bought 1 kilo of beef mince from Woolies and 13 bucks. So we used half of it in the Swedish meatballs broadcast last week, and as it turns out, it's still fine a week later. So we're going to use the other half of it, so it's $6.50 to make burgers with, and Paul will fill you in while I step away.
Yeah, no worries. And the other thing, I haven't even explained what's going on with the burgers. So yeah, in terms of the burgers, I feel like a burger is a very simple thing to make, but it's not necessarily a very simple thing to get right, because a lot of people have a lot of different opinions on what makes a good burger, what makes a good patty, even what makes good buns, toppings, everything. So a lot of this is personal preference. Some of you might not like the way that I do it, but you know, it all comes down to what you like. But if you don't know, you got to start somewhere. So if you don't know much about burgers, give this method of doing it a go and see how you feel. So in terms of the patty, we're just going to go for like regular style patties, if I can call it that. You know, we're not doing smash burgers or, you know, any sort of fancy thing. And the patty that I do is very simple. It's just the meat and a little bit of seasoning, which I'll tell you what those are now. Because I'm very much of the opinion, particularly when it comes to like a lot of meat dishes or dishes that involve meat, is you want to make sure that the meat is the star of the dish, so you taste the meatiness of it. Obviously, if you don't like the taste of like strong beefiness, you can do it differently. You know, there's various things which I'm sure we'll mention at later stages and whatever, like the sort of Chinese methods of rinsing and bicarb and doing things like that can strip out that like sort of wilder flavor. But for me, the beef needs to be the front and center. So just the beef, seasonings in a pan with some butter. Bob's your uncle.
Perfect. Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to share this around. I'll let you run the show in the meantime, but I was going to step over here and share this out. By the way, guys, some of you have RSVP'd to my Zoom session. For those of you who don't know, I actually run a private coaching online program to basically help you to master recipes from my old Malaysian restaurant back in the day. Okay. And as part of that, there's the lecture component, the course content and all that, but there's a separate component which is what we call the open kitchen hour. The open kitchen hour is actually 2 hours. We run that twice a week, okay? So in 2 different time slots, what happens is that my online students, along with me, actually cook together on Zoom. Some of them don't actually don't cook, right? We just basically, it's a way for us to, first of all, if you do choose to cook, it can be any dish, any Malaysian dish. If you do choose to cook, you can do it together with my community on Zoom, and then basically share our experience, our knowledge. Sometimes you might get stuck in something and then somebody will jump in and suggest doing that. I found that really, really helpful, even in my own, you know, I'm always learning new things, right? So, but this runs twice a week, and it's actually for my Malaysian Hawker Pro students. And also, like I said, if you don't cook, you don't have to. Some of them just tune in to watch what I'm doing. I do a lot of cooking for various reasons, and you know, then they get additional like tips and techniques and stuff like that from these sessions. But this week, I'm actually opening up these open kitchen hours to you if you want to RSVP, because it's a private session. You know, it's not broadcast, it's not streamed or nothing like that. But if you want to join us, again, like I said, you can cook. You know, maybe you've got a Malaysian recipe you really want to tackle that you need some help with, or you don't have to cook. You can just tune in to watch and find out what we're doing. Over the last couple of weeks, we've been tackling the topic of making popiah, and I actually did a paid separate workshop for popiah, learning how to make popiah, with a focus on making the skin. And all these special workshops you can buy a pass to, but my Malaysian Hawker Pro students get access to all of this for free. But since then, they've been basically trying to tackle how to nail the whole smearing, making the popiah skin from scratch technique. Okay, so if you tune in, if you join us this week, you might catch some of that action as well. Okay, Noah, in the meantime, no. It's trying to cut some vegetable. My goodness. Okay, but if you want to join us, let me know. Okay, just pop me a message. You can pop a comment. I will need your email address so that I can actually send you the invite. And the invite, the Google Calendar invite, will have the Zoom link on to join the session. Okay, but Paul is back, so let me get on to my work over here, and we can talk a little bit about that later on.
So basically, yeah, with that, it's beyond the patty. It's pretty simple. That what I do is it's semi-inspired by In-N-Out. So if any of you are from America or West Coast America, you better understand. But what I do is I have the bun, then inspired In-N-Out sauce on the base, the patty, the cheese, and then a topping, which to bring that sort of Malaysian feel to it. 1 second. Before I forget.
And by the way, this is a Friday morning here in Sydney, Australia, and we try and do these on a weekly basis, and they're meant to be pretty chilled sessions. So you're in the headspace for budget cooking, and also for like South African / Malaysian or West meets East tips, right, in your kitchen. Join us, and again, like I said, say hello, let us know where you're watching from. It's just a nice way for us to just hang out and talk a little bit about what we've been up to. Tell us where you're watching from and what you've been up to. And let me just get a shareable link so I can share this on some other platforms.
Yeah, and in the meantime, basically, yeah, so it's the bun, the In-N-Out sauce, the patty, then cheese, and then a topping, which I'm thinking of making coleslaw. We'll see how much time we have. And then I'm going to spread the top of the bun with sambal tumis. So cooked like fried sambal, just to add that sort of Malaysian twist. So yeah, I hope you guys find it interesting. Let's get going. In order to make the In-N-Out sauce, we need mayonnaise. The one thing we don't have in the house is mayonnaise. So what I'm quickly going to do is actually just whip up some mayonnaise in the Thermomix. And yeah, start with mayonnaise, then we'll do the patties, then we'll prep the condiment. I think our buns should be done by then, and then we'll plate. That simple. Okay, so let's get going with the mayonnaise. Oh, I definitely chose the wrong language here. I'm assuming that's Indonesian.
Yeah, looks like it.
I first chose German, and then I chose... Let's see if I got the right one. Einer kana auf den Mixtopfdeckel. No, that's not right.
What's that?
That's the thing about knowing multiple languages. You have all of them on the Thermomix.
Not here. Yeah, oh wait, here we go.
Okay, this... Nope, not it yet. Still French.
Okay.
Okay, got it. Okay, place a jug onto the mixing bowl lid. Okay, that shouldn't be too hard. On my jug, I will just use this. Okay, 250 grams of oil. Yeah, we're very casual in this household, so yes, I am just
Guesstimating.
well, I was going to say lobbing from an entire 5-litre jug. Oh, too much. Guesstimating is fine, but a whole sixth more, not so much.
If you're watching from Twitch, by the way, say hello, and say hello to Jackie. I haven't streamed on Twitch on a regular basis for years and years now, but every now and then someone pops on and says, hey, I remember you from 5 years ago, so that'll be really cool. Say hello, let me know what you've been up to in your life. And yeah, if you got any questions at all, hit us up. I'll let Paul take over because this is his show. But again, if you want to catch me doing cooking, more instructional cooking, more not structured, it's not really structured because we just cook along. That's coming up in about 9 hours or so. Just pop me a message and I'll, give me your email, pop me a message on Facebook, on email jackie@jackie.com.au or whatever, and I will send you an invite. It's usually a private paid session, but you can join us for free today or on Sunday, our time. Okay? Anyway, back to Paul.
Okay, I am still carrying on with the mayonnaise recipe. It's pretty straightforward. If you're using a Thermomix, just literally, you know, there's no need to worry about doing anything extra and learning some weird recipe or whatever. Just follow the basic structure.
Put this in here, baby.
We're not cooking with that.
Put this in here. Yeah. Okay. No, Papa's not making popcorn. Then put it in here. That's Noah there. Guys, by the way, if you want our recipes and all that, I've been blogging them at jackiem.com.au. Okay, I know I'm live streaming on the Masters of Malaysian Cuisine MOMC YouTube account, but I post the follow-up write-ups at jackiem.com.au because that's where I really post a lot of cooking related, like technique-y, recipe-ish kind of content. Okay, so I own a whole bunch of different websites, real estates and whatnot sort of stuff, so they're all over the place, but jackiem.com.au is where I post the write-ups for this. And if you're really hardcore, right, I've actually created a school community, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that later, but the best way to keep in touch with what's going on in my space is to actually sign up to my email list. However, I've seen some of you guys sign up and not confirm your subscription. Okay, what happens with the back end of my email system is that if you sign up at jackiem.com.au/email, pop your email address and your first name in there, you will get an email from my email provider asking you to confirm that you want to sign up. Okay, if you don't do it within 12 hours, you get removed from the system. Okay, that's how hardcore they are, because we have been dealing with issues of people randomly adding other people's names to our sign up form who didn't actually want to sign up. So that gets us into all kinds of trouble. But so if you want to sign up, you have to be really dedicated to signing up. Okay, and I'm saying this because I'm sick and tired of actually just kind of chasing everyone about everything and whatnot. Okay, if you want to sign up, you will get access to my recipes, my updates and all that kind of good stuff, including my Masters of Malaysian Cuisine e-magazine that I put out on a semi-regular basis. We've issued 24 issues so far. I'm looking at something out on my balcony. We've put out 24 issues so far, and that equates to hundreds of recipes. Okay, so you're missing out on it if you don't sign up. Okay, that among many other things that we do as part of my jackiem/Masters of Malaysian Cuisine / Malaysian Hawker Pro brands. Okay, yeah, anyway, so Paul, what are you up to?
Okay, so I'm just working on the mayonnaise, which should be ready in about half a minute.
Cool.
Just 1 second.
I'm going to kill the Twitch stream because it was struggling a little bit. My computer is getting old, and it's just a matter of time before I have to upgrade. I'm trying to hold it off. I used to be a Lenovo ambassador, so I used to get the most updated computer hardware, but Lenovo's ended their ambassadorship program a couple of years now, so everything is starting to slow down sort of thing. But anyway,
there we go.
That's the beef mince, and if you're going out to buy beef mince, we use the cheapest, like what's considered the cheapest, like low quality beef, which is the grade 2. Okay, so you don't need like to me as an Asian, the higher quality beef is actually not really suitable for a lot of the stuff that I do because it's too lean. Okay.
In my opinion, as I don't know, saying a white person, because I don't think most white people think like me, but I don't like the leaner cuts.
Yeah.
Because they don't have as much flavor.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, maybe for certain things like higher meat content is okay, but I like the fattiness, you know me, I like that. So, yeah.
I'm trying to get this in focus. Here we go. Okay, that's better. Yeah. Sorry guys, Noah is trying to get Paul's attention away. But again, if you've got any questions about this particular session or anything to do with Malaysian cooking, hit me up. Paul is our burger expert in this household.
Burger expert,
Yeah.
burger maker, the only one that makes burgers. So.
Yeah. Let me change our layout so that you can actually see.
Oh yeah, okay, so followed the recipe on Thermomix, the English one. And this is your mayonnaise. Let me just move that out of the way for now. As you'll see, it's honestly, I think like once you start making your own mayonnaise, you don't even need a Thermomix, but obviously having a Thermomix makes it a lot easier. But once you start making your own mayonnaise, you're like, why did I ever buy mayonnaise from the store? Because I would say, I'm trying to think now, probably the price of eggs doesn't make things that easy. First wipe your hands, quick. Yeah, I was going to say the price of eggs doesn't make things that easy, to be honest, but yeah, it's still pretty cheap to make mayonnaise. So, there's the camera now.
Oh, nice.
There we go. You can see that that's the mayonnaise. So, okay, that's the first part done. Then what we're going to do is the beef mince. Obviously, you can see it's been sitting in the fridge without being sealed, so parts of it are brown. Don't worry about that if you have beef mince that's been sitting around. I'm sure most of you know this, but if you have beef mince that's sitting around, it's just basically the oxygen getting at it, so don't worry too much about that. Even when you buy it,
Let's take a photo of this.
one of those things. Yeah, go for it. Even if you buy it, sometimes you might see that, and it doesn't actually mean anything to do with freshness. And what a lot of grocery stores do, I don't know, they probably can't legally do it in Australia, but elsewhere, they actually pump in, I can't remember what it is, but basically keeps the meat oxygenated, and so it looks really red, but it's actually, it hides bad quality meat. So, yeah, don't trust the redness or brownness of fresh beef. Where are your gloves? Actually, hi. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, you want to put a glove on as well? Okay, let me give you a hand. Oh. Here you go. Yeah. Okay, finger at a time. On your middle finger, that is. Okay, there we go. You got a glove on. Okay, and got another one. Okay, and so beef mince, pretty simple. Yeah, you don't need them. Where did I put them in? You want to throw some of the? Yeah, you want to throw some of the salt in here? Okay, there we go. Thank you for the salt.
Wow.
Bit of pepper. Yeah, we're slowly trying to get Noah. You want to? Oh, whoops. Sorry. We're slowly trying to get Noah to learn how to cook. So we'll see how it goes. You want to try?
Wow, good boy.
Yeah. Ooh, it's hard. There we go.
Oopsies.
Yeah, sorry, you guys can't see this on a.
Over here, come and help.
Oh, sorry, I pulled this glove off by mistake.
Oopsie.
I don't think he likes the sensation. Yeah? Yeah. Oh, you're holding too high up. Ah, well. No worries. Thank you there. Then I put it somewhere.
What do you want?
The Sarawak. Oh, there it is. Tripper. So yeah, lately, as you guys have seen from all of our last couple of lives, I've really taken a liking to. Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, that's enough. Thank you. Oops, there we go. I've really taken a liking to Sarawak pepper because I find it's like a lot more fragrant. Then this is from Alex's My Blue Tea, native chili padi, so you know, bird's eye chili, and I pretty much sprinkle this on everything, you know, because it's got a decent amount of kick, plus it's pretty flavorful. Okay, so one of the things that I use as a little bit of a hack is, this is the one thing that's probably a little bit extra, is this is our fish sauce, and it just brings out, I find that it actually brings out the beefiness. Bless you. It brings out the beefiness of stuff. And so yeah, that's basically it. That's all you need to do, and then you just want to mix everything everything nicely. Careful not to like clump it together. You don't want to squish your meat.
No,
Yeah,
come to Mama. Come, you give Mama a hand. Yeah, over here. Come, you want to have a look at the bread rolls?
you don't want to, you don't want to squish the mince too much together, because you know, we're not making beef balls in sort of like an Asian style. We don't want to get the oxygen out. We want to keep them like loose, so that actually I had a reason for it. I can't remember why I do it, but try and keep it loose until you make it into a patty. So that's basically everything in a nutshell. Just mix it up. That should be good.
Do you need the
Yeah.
garlic still?
And I actually meant to put it in the mayonnaise, but I forgot. Yeah. Okay, and so depending on what you want, or the size you want it, is Mama help. Yeah. Depending on the size you want and how you like your burger patties, you want about.
Here you go. Oopsies.
I'm trying to work out maybe just a little bit bigger than a ping pong. I don't know if my hands are pretty big, so I don't know if it's a good example, but you know, just a little bit bigger than a ping pong. And you see, like, I don't have it too compacted together, and so yeah, that's basically that. I'm just gonna knock all of these out. And basically what I do is no, we don't want to do that. The
Give Mama.
yeah, he's gonna cut up my patties.
Come,
Yeah, so basically what I do is like you just
no, it's helpful.
you
Over here. Come.
what's the word I'm looking for? Like cup your hands or curve your hands. So like, you know, in a C shape with the meat in it, and then you use two fingers and you sort of just guide it. I would say like if you know the context of like holding a cricket ball, it's sort of like that, and you just keep turning it around in your hand and the other hand, and you know, doing that until it sort of forms the shape of a ball. I'm sure there's other ways you can do it, but that's just how I know to do it, or knew to do it. And yeah, just give it like a slight press together in that C shape, just so it holds together. Then yeah, not onion time just yet.
Mama, take out the bread rolls. Over here, come. Over here.
Okay, so there we go, third one. Trying to think in terms of taking the raw meat, how much, oh, those are really good. How much loose meat becomes one of these things. Have a look at those bad boys.
Okay, there's after 20 minutes, just over 20 minutes, because a couple of them were still white in patches. But here you go.
And you want to go have a look over there? Yeah, no, we like bread. Yeah, he quite enjoys breads of various types, like roti and bread loaves and stuff, but can be pretty picky. So yeah, we'll see if he likes these, but yeah, things that are foreign to him, he's always like skeptical about. So we'll play it by ear and figure out whether he will quite like it. The fact that it's warm, yeah, no, don't touch. Yeah, just wipe here. Yes. The fact that it's warm might be in our favor, but yeah, we will see. I could probably squeeze out one more. Yeah, and I'm not sure what the questions are. We can't see the chat at the moment, but one of the things that I'm assuming different people might have questions of it, do you add any sort of filler into your patties and stuff? And like I told you at the start, I'm not really a big fan of it because you know, I'm looking more for the meatiness, but also the texture, because at least I know from growing up in a white family, English / Afrikaans, that the people love throwing like breadcrumbs and stuff like that into it, and I personally don't favor it because I find that it sort of waters down the flavor, as a sort of feeling that
So you don't actually even add onion or anything like that?
not into the patty, no.
Okay.
Yeah, because for me, like I said, it's all about the beef. I can see that a couple of them are actually not perfectly sized, but to be honest, when you flatten them all to the same thickness.
Okay.
That way you don't have to worry about them cooking through or not, no matter the size.
Okay.
So
Did you, apart from the Sarawak pepper, what else did you put in?
okay, so it was salt, pepper, a little bit of the chili putty,
Okay.
and
No chicken powder.
well, the salt has actually got salt, chicken
Okay.
powder,
Okay.
and it should have MSG, but we've lost our MSG packet.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Let me just change the screen layout. Right, screen front. Here you go. Okay. So let me just show you the bread rolls. It's my contribution to this broadcast, making supposedly Chinese style soft buns. Okay, they do feel pretty soft, I guess. Yeah. And you know what they'll be good for? They'll be good for, like, you know those meat floss mayo type
100%.
buns. Yeah,
you
yeah.
can smell it actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna finish off the seasoning, or sorry, the condiments and stuff, and then we'll cook the patties. So I'm just looking for somewhere to put these that are too high for Noah to reach, and then we'll get on with the condiments.
If you're watching a replay of this, make sure you say hello anyway. In case you don't know who Paulus or Noah is, Paul is my partner and the co-founder of Masters of Malaysian Cuisine. He's from South Africa, but living here in Sydney with me. And Noah is our special needs child who's non-verbal, as you might have picked up. Yeah, he's got Down syndrome, and he actually has had a couple of heart surgeries. And there you go.
Yeah, he likes food, but he can be picky. Okay, so condiment wise, it's pretty simple. Just come this way a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, we use the butter nana. Okay, there we go. Oh, where do you keep paprika these days? Do you remember? Yeah, cheese now. Oh, and there's one ingredient I haven't brought out yet because it's busy stewing in the fridge. So yeah.
Is this a smoked version?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Have a look.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you can smell it is. Okay, so in terms of the in and out sauce, it's pretty simple. It's mayonnaise, chopped onion, chopped pickles, which I've made ourselves. So, would you mind? I don't remember where I put them.
I don't know where it is.
It's in a square container. Might be this over here. No, there. Okay. Which I actually made ourselves. So it's vinegar, sugar, salt in boiling water. I just chucked it in. You could get fancy and cook it up and do whatever, but you know, it's just a rudimentary thing that we need here. Those, the paprika. The mayo should be reasonably salty, so I don't think we'd have to add extra. Let's just make sure. Okay, I probably will need a bit of salt. And then that's the sauce. Then I'm just going to make a simple slaw, which basically all I'm going to do is cut up some cabbage and carrots. Yeah. Cut up some cabbage and carrots. And no, we don't need that now. We already used that. And chuck it through some mayo. You can get fancier, but that's all basically I think we should get up to today. Let me just change the... I think it's this one. Yes. Okay, so bowl. Here's the onion. These are actually like little red shallots we got from Cabramatta. So
No, we come over here,
they're
babe.
pretty sweet. Yeah.
You wanna watch TV?
Yeah. You wanna try cut an onion? Yeah.
Help Papa cut.
Yeah. Oops, there we go. This thing's a far back. Okay. Oh well. Yep. There we go.
Yeah, help put it away. You put the rubbish in the bowl.
There's a bowl behind you. Yeah, sorry.
You put the rubbish here. Yeah, put the onion in here. Put
Yeah.
onion. No.
Throw
You
this
take
in
this
there.
and put it in here. No.
Yeah.
There you go.
So throw
Take
this in the bowl.
Yeah, in the bowl.
Yeah.
Good boy. Yeah, more. Good boy.
No, not that one. It's easy to pick up the big piece.
Good boy.
And just those ones. And then
Yeah.
last two.
Wow.
Nice work.
Good boy. Okay. You wanna come over here?
And
Oops.
Thank you.
There we go. Come.
yeah.
You help Mama and put this in the bin.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. You wanna open the bin?
Should you be able to see a bit better? Okay, so just basically softly dice it or slightly dice it. Actually, yeah, I would have done it differently, but I wasn't thinking before I cut now. What you can do is just you don't cut to the end so that it all sticks together, and then you dice across that. But I forgot before we started, so I'm just gonna do it like this then. Yeah, there we go. Nice work, nice work. Yeah, and as you can see, I'm cutting it quite fine because you don't really want to, when you're eating the mayo, taste this big crunch of onion.
Can I ask you what kind of cheese this is?
Okay, so this is Maasdam, which is a Dutch cheese, but it's all similar in the same ilk as Swiss cheese. What's the other one? But basically, what it is it's like a lighter, more buttery type of cheese rather than like a cheddar that's sharper. I do like a cheddar, but I find that not everybody does, and also when you're using the strong flavors of the other stuff, you don't want the cheese to be too overpowering. Usually I would use like cheddar, mozzarella, and maybe what else did I actually I've used a whole bunch of stuff. I've used blue cheese is actually quite nice if you want that to be like the focus of the burger. Okay, and in we go. There we go, good boy. Then there's certain things that I will eat. Oh, sorry, little dude.
Yeah, okay, come over here, baby.
Tearing up.
Yes. Yeah, come on, onion hurts your eyes. Yeah, good boy. Yeah.
Okay, so you'll see here, don't cut it all the way to the end. And I think Noah's emotionally scarred by the onion. And what was the other one I was going to talk about now? Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, speaking of Dutch cheeses, is Gouda or Gouda, depending on where you're from. I mean, if you're Dutch, you probably pronounce it Gouda. So, but I find is too milky and too subtle to be a good burger cheese. You know, it still needs like some sort of a strength in flavor. But one thing I do, or I have enjoyed, is actually smoked Gouda or Gouda because it has that smokiness to it. But you could probably get in Australia. We haven't bought cheese. We haven't used cheese in actually like months or years. So I haven't really thought about that.
Why'd you throw those out?
Because it's the flavor's a little. Actually, this I could still do. Yeah. The flavors. Wait, where was I talking about now? The
cheeses.
Oh yeah. We haven't bought cheeses in years. Like we did like a while ago, like buy shredded cheese, but yeah, I don't really consider that like real cheese.
So you wouldn't use shredded cheese in the burger?
You could use shredded cheese, so long as you're melting it. So you put like basically what we're gonna do with the cheese, and you can do as well, is when you turn the patty over from the first cook, it has that's when you like the brown side is at the top. Then you add the cheese on top, and you can also cover it with a lid, and that will just melt the cheese onto it. So you can do that with shredded cheese as well, especially if you don't have access to sliced cheese or whole cheese. And yeah, it depends on what you have access to and what you enjoy, but it really doesn't make that much of a difference.
What's in your cucumber pickle?
Okay, so I told them a little bit earlier that basically it's sugar, salt, vinegar. I used apple cider vinegar because I couldn't find the regular one. I wouldn't use apple cider vinegar for many other things than like burgers, because it's like very Southern American style stuff. And then some hot water and just diced up cucumbers, which I should have cut a little bit finer, but I was rushing to get it in before we started this broadcast. So yeah, basically it doesn't matter how much you have of this, but the ratio is 1:1 of the 1:1 of the onion to cucumber, although I'm going to put a little less of the pickle because the pieces are really big. And then the mayo, I would say basically just test it. So you put as much as you think is necessary to make it sort of a liquid, not a liquid, but like a spreadable thing. And so I'm going to put like 2.5 tablespoons to start, and we'll see how it goes. Then the other thing is smoked paprika. If you can't get smoked, you can always use fresh. So not fresh, non-smoked. If you can't get paprika, you could probably use like Kashmiri chili or something similar to that, because it would have to some degree a similar taste. There's actually some other things that go in here that I think I sorry guys. That I think I've forgotten about. But yeah, you see they're basically like decently spreadable. I would like the cucumbers a little finer, but we work with what we got. And actually just a touch of lemon juice, which there's already actually lemon juice in the mayonnaise when you make it, but just a little bit more, and there we go. So that's all of that, and now we're gonna cook our burgers. Oh wait, hold a second, gotta finish off the cabbage. Yeah, so we had some leftover cabbage from, actually what did we use the cabbage for originally? Oh, you were making a popia? No, popia doesn't put cabbage in it. Where does the cabbage?
You wanted me to use it for dai chao.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because when we were in Malaysia the last time, like, those dai chao dishes where they do a lot of like Cantonese style stir fried, and there was a very simple cabbage. Dai chao was a stir fried cabbage with basically garlic and dried shrimp. But the way they did it was really nice, so Paul got inspired by that to buy some, and we haven't done anything with it since. But so that's what happened. Let me just change the screen layout quickly for Paul is here. And again, just saying hello to everyone who's just tuning in. And if you're just watching a replay of this, make sure you hit us up with any questions. I always go back and check the comments and try and cover them. Okay.
So basically, I'm just doing it by hand, but you want to cut the cabbage into like small-ish thin slices, and get your cabbage long ways. I don't really know how to explain it, but like from the base to the top, there's like long ways, whereas non-long ways is the other way, like across the grain. Because I find A, you get longer strands, and B, it's crunchier in the final product. Oops, a little bit thick. And you can use a grater or a like mandolin or something like that if you want to do this, but doing it by hand is perfectly satisfactory. So cabbage, which I'm pretty messy with today, and the carrot. Simple. Yeah, carrots you can cut as how you want. You can, julienne them by hand or anything like that. But I would suggest having them at least this thick, or else you're not gonna feel that sort of crunch that you're looking for in a coleslaw. You don't have to have them this long. I know other people, do it shorter. They just want to have like the appearance of carrot, and I've actually added too much carrot now that I look at it, but it'll suffice. Okay, same with the mayo, just enough to coat. When it comes to coleslaw, you could actually add a lot of other things to it. One of the things that I like adding is roasted sesame seeds, because I find that they add a bit of a textural change. I think we actually have, but I'm not going to worry too much about it now. You can also add chili. You can add like chili flakes and a whole bunch of other stuff. And so that's basically your coleslaw. And yeah, that's basically it. That should be everything pretty simply. And now let's cook some burgers.
Are you going to have fried egg in the burger or no?
Not for this one,
Okay.
but I do quite enjoy fried eggs as well.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll just, we got it out here with this really blunt knife. Cut a few slices of tomato. How you stack your burger depends. You know, you can do it however you like. Some people like to put like the lettuce and then the, no, it's really blunt. The lettuce and then the tomato below, but then you got that sort of risk of it becoming a bit soggy. I like to put it on top, but it really depends on like how much you're stacking it. Because if you're not stacking a lot of stuff,
What do you need?
the pan, yeah.
The one that's on the stove? Or?
Yeah, not the dirty one, other one. No, leave it. Beef. Pick up, please. Pick up, please. Okay, so I've already got oil in this pan to some degree because I was pseudo seasoning it before we started this. But what I would suggest is the same way you make steak.
No.
Is you would use high neutral oil. Sorry, a high smoke point neutral oil. No, buns don't go.
Just don't need this.
No. A high smoke point neutral oil and finish it with butter. So currently we've got I'm thinking it's like mostly soya bean oil in here. I would have preferred to use beef tallow, but we've run out of our beef tallow. So yeah, that's how we go. And then we got some butter just to finish it off. And so while that's getting hot enough, I'm just going to show you what we do with the patties. Is okay, that's on screen enough. No, leave. Okay. Just a second. Okay, so here we go. We got one of the patties. Give it enough space to work with, and picture how big you want it. But basically, I like to do it with a clear thing that's flat. So we've just got this random thing around that's used for, I think, serving. I don't know if it's oven proof, but you know, using that you can see what you're doing. And so if you watch, you can see the size. And you start with like a bit of an angle. So you start like with it like this against the meat, and you turn it in just so that it goes, it's easier to take off. So if we look at like one of the buns, you see it's just a bit bigger than one of the buns, because when it cooks it's obviously going to get smaller, and then hopefully it should fit about right. And so the side that you pushed it from, you want to turn it the opposite way, and that way it doesn't stick to the thing. You could also oil this if you want. You know, different people have different ways of doing things, but so this thing works okay for us. Let me just get a spatula. so, yeah, you see the meat is it's together, but not compact. You know, different, like I said, different things you do, you want your meat differently, and for burgers, it's not worth, in my opinion, compressing them to the nth degree. So yeah, that's
So what about
do a couple
smash
more.
burgers? Like
so basic. I'm sorry. Yeah, with smash burgers, basically what you're doing is you're trying to focus on the Maillard effect, Maillard something, I forget what it's called. And basically what that is like, you know when we made steaks a couple of weeks ago, you're getting that like crust on them. And so what you're doing is you're taking a like a meatball, and you're basically smashing it or squishing it into your pan. And so by doing that, you it gets more of a connection or a like the touch, you know, the surface area is touching more, and so that'll give you more of that. Yeah, there's a different time and a place for different things. Thank you. But for what we're doing is just chuck it in. You don't have to worry too much about it. If you want, you can put a bit of pressure down on it, but it's not really necessary. I'm just gonna, just to make sure that everything touches the surface. So that's our first two. I'm just gonna go get a lid. Okay, we got our plate. Yeah, we're gonna do it now. And yeah, for burgers, I mean, what you can do is like 1 to 2 minutes aside, depending. I personally you go by feel, and so you can kind of see once the edges start to brown, you can turn it over, and that's when once you turn it over, you add your cheese. And our cheese is way too big for our patties, but we'll go with it. And then you add your butter. Okay, so get your butter in there and just let it run through the meat. You can see because the cheese is too big, sort of melded into there. And just close it a bit just to help melt the cheese a bit further. And while we do that, we're gonna quickly cut up our buns and get them ready. So over here you can see I've got 2 buns. Okay, 1. Two. Yeah, they're still pretty nice and warm. Okay, put your mayo sauce at the bottom.
So there's no garlic in this?
No, unfortunately
Can we stir some garlic in the mayo, garlic powder in the mayo? Or?
yeah, sure, go for it. Okay, and then we got sambal at the top. I've got to move quick because the patties are browning a bit too much.
I don't know how this is going to taste. I'm sticking some garlic powder in here.
And then here we go. Yeah, I was a little slow on that, so they've stuck on a bit. But if you're like me and you like crusty cheese, like that's a good time. So yeah, a little bit of a browning. I do the same with like if you're using cheese on a thingy.
And lettuce, are you
Toasted,
using
whatever.
just like a slice of lettuce, or you don't need it?
Nah, don't worry about the lettuce for
Okay.
today. I think we got enough
Toppings.
stuff. Yeah. And
Did
so
you put butter on the buns? No.
no, the butter goes into the patties. The buns have got this at the bottom, sambal at the
okay.
top. I could have actually buttered it first, then put the sambal, but yeah, okay. There we go. Okay, that only needs one. And then
Turn this off, or?
yes, thank you. Okay, pasta on top. Not my best work presentation wise, but there we go. And yeah, you can bring one of those. Oops.
Cool.
Shop a both.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, we'll have one closed maybe. I'll
Yeah,
take
sure.
photos of this.
Sure.
They're very dinky.
Yeah, it actually works out well because I didn't make too big of a
Cool.
thing. Well, there we go.
That's it?
Yeah, that is it.
Okay, cool. Just change. Okay guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'm going to take some photos and we'll be posting the recipe on my website jackiem.com.au in the next week or so. Okay, I'll catch you later.
No worries.
Bye.
Bye everyone.